my
this.
God. One more. Who do you have this week? That's the matchup of the week in my mind.
Well, we didn't have this. We have officially started. I wasn't planning on starting with me, but since it's all league relevant, uh, you guys have been hearing this. But yeah, I'm 0-14 about to. If I lose this week, I tie the record for a streak, and it happens to all be in one season. So I'm looking for an 0-15 regular season. I mean, legendarily bad, the worst season in a lot of ways, almost points wise, but for sure record wise.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So who do I got this week? I don't even know.
Slingbox with like a very even matchup
All
according
right.
to
This is a
the
big week,
scoreboard.
but I'd love to stay out of the record books. Luckily, we haven't
Oh,
set an almanac worst regular season record because, of course, I would have already had that. But we only have longest losing streak, so this is all it's going to count, buddy. This week,
how,
you might.
how much money does Slingbox have? Because I might collude with them. Like, what are we looking at?
For what? What are you going to do?
Drop, give him some players. We got to make sure he wins.
I was say, does anything out there even matter? I mean, at this point,
Please, please. He's only a 4-point favorite right now. Oh, but see, he's going to make some changes. He's got Trevion on his bench. Anyhow, that's not why people are tuning into this pod.
well, so it's been time to pod. It's been a slow year, but if Philip Rivers can come back at 44, I can come back at 45 and do this pod, right? So here we
And
are.
did I read it right? He retired in 2020.
Yeah, well, that was last year he played. He played in 2020.
5 years.
Yeah,
That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing for the state of football.
it is interesting, isn't it? You'd think there'd be a
What
young guy somewhere they could throw in there, but if they're making a playoff run, they have to have experience. I'm
Where's
hoping
Josh
we.
Allen?
I heard he's in great shape. I'm hoping he took 5 years to just take all the designer cocktail of hormones and drugs, and he's just looking like a man child right now. I don't know, but
Is there any truth to the rumor that the minute he signed that contract to be on the practice squad, his wife got pregnant?
well, he is a grandpa. His kids have kids now, right?
Are we sure he's not the one impregnating his children?
Oh, I don't.
He is fertile as can be.
If YouTube algorithm's going to catch this and copyright strike us, whatever they call it, our big following. But let's talk about the real
Oh,
important stuff. We already okay. So we all know it's a historic. Most people probably have a little bit of an eye on this 0-14 season, but the big thing is imagine being 10-4 going into the last regular season week, and you are on the hot seat.
it's pretty damn wild. Like
Whoa,
there,
just amazing.
and looking at it and doing, really, it really only feels like Al Davis and Vinny Greenballs. I mean, are the ones that are quote unquote. Or I guess Vinny's not, according to projection, according to playoff percentage, because Protege controls it. But basically, House or Swizzle, based on winning and losing, I guess, unless they're playing each other. Do House and Swizzle play each other? The two bottom? No, House plays Greenball. Swizzle. I mean, it's all going to come down to points, right? Because there's two people are going to lose. Two
So
out of the five are guaranteed to lose.
Greenball's house, Davis Swizzle, and Protege on an island.
Protege's on an island. If he wins, he's in. If he loses, it's a points game.
Okay, let's play the game that Protege wins. He's a massive, massive, massive. First of all, it would be a massive, massive collapse if he lost.
Okay. So we're going to assume Protege wins.
Let's look. I brought up the actual matchup here to see if there's any like screaming. No, I mean, no. Goalie's got his team pretty much lined in there. I think he's just a massive favorite.
So if Protege wins, then there's two matchups that the winners advance, and then of those two losers, it comes down to points. So that's House, Swizzle, Greenballs, and Al Davis. So it becomes a points game. So I would say even if Al Davis loses, I guess if Al Davis and Vinny lost, Vinny would need to outscore Al Davis by 90 points, basically. He's up by Yeah, 87 it looks like. So I mean, like Al Davis is pretty much in the driver's seat. That's why Vinny is a little bit lower because if Al Davis wins, Sweet Swizzle.
No, because then so one of those would have because Swizzle or House plays Green Balls, right? Davis plays Swizzle.
Right.
So if House beats Green Balls, Protege wins his matchup. Al Davis beats Swizzle. That would mean Green Balls would be down to 5 losses. Al Davis only have 4. Protege 4. So it'd be down to. Well, see, now we didn't do our homework before starting
Assuming
this.
Protege, this is how it goes. Assuming
Okay.
Protege wins, the other two matchups, the winners are in. That's 3. And then it's just whoever has the highest points out of the 2 losers.
So who's the most risk then? The lowest points we. It's just how it looks, and I guess House and Swizzle.
The most at risk is the lowest points out of those 4.
Okay, so Swizzle and House pretty obvious they lose, they're out, and they could win. How
No,
could they?
no, Swizzle or House. If
Well,
Swizzle and House both lose, then it comes down to points between them.
yeah. Okay, because Green Balls play. Yeah. Okay, okay. So a lot of ways it could go. So Swizzle and House could be in a points battle if they both lose, and if anyone wins, they're in because 2 of the teams play each other, or 2 of the matchups are
Yeah,
the same. Yeah. So
the
anyone who
3
wins is in,
matchups. Yeah, if
and
Protege
so
wins, he's in, and then the other 2, whoever wins, they're in. If Protege loses, then the top 2 point scorers of the losers advance.
so how realistic is it? I mean, ESPN has it 98, 82, 90 for the top 3. So they have the most points, I take it.
Well, I'm assuming goalie hasn't made changes to his lineup, and he might have had some buys. So, I mean, he's got Daniel Jones in his starting lineup, which that's going to have to change. Um, I don't know. He's got Jackson, so Jackson Dart's going to go in there, um, which is a big change in terms of the points there. But yeah, his flexes are pretty rough. No neighbors. Kamara hurt. Scatterboo hurt. Yeah, unless he does some pickups. But the big change there is obviously having a starting quarterback changes that a little bit. He's projected at 69 points, and what Dart's projected at what?
Okay.
But I mean, like that's going to be a big change.
Okay.
Dart with the week healthy and all that.
Okay, because since Davis and Swizzle play each other and House and Green Balls play each other, the most likely scenario is if Protege wins, the well, okay.
Yeah,
I'm trying to look at an alternate universe. So the one we assumed is Protege winning. If Protege got upset, Swizzle and Take It to the House could conceivably both win, and Protege would be out because his points would not catch Green Balls and Davis.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Proteges might be the matchup of the week. I wonder if that's the pivot point there is Protege's matchup because if Protege does win, uh, well, I mean, because House and Swizzle could both win, and that if Protege wins and House and Swizzle wins, then Green Balls and Davis are in a points battle, right?
yeah,
So that's why you're going back to we are saying like Davis with high points. It's obvious, but like just putting it in practice here, he has a good chance because he's so far ahead of Vinny. Davis
yeah.
is pretty much locked because even if that happened, Davis lost and Greenball's lost. He's not going to catch Al Davis in points most likely unless it's what is it 55 87 point. So Greenball's have to beat Al Davis by 87 points in a loss
Yeah,
for Al
and
Davis to
lose,
be out. So Al Davis is really 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 locked. I mean, as close as
which
you can
is
be to
why
locked.
ESPN has him at 98%, but why Vinny's at 82, because Vinny and House are evenly matched, um, and Al Davis and Swizzle are evenly matched. So like Vinny's got a Vinny is rooting for Al Davis to win because he doesn't want to have to lose and have Al Davis lose. That is the main way Vinny doesn't make the playoffs. Any other scenario, he's got enough points lead that as long as Al Davis wins, he should be okay. Unless he just takes a shit because he has 90 points, basically 90 points on Swizzle and over 100 on House. So it seems to be the only way, unless there's wacky scoring, for Vinny Greenballs to not make the playoffs is both him and Al Davis lose. That's the only way Vinny cannot make the playoffs.
Well, if no, because what if Protege loses and Vinny loses, and Protege outscores Vinny by it's only 26 points.
That doesn't matter.
Well, because then it would be
My
because if
scenario makes my scenario is the same as if. Oh, I guess what you're saying, if Protege loses and then Vinny has, okay, so that is another scenario.
yeah,
If
because Swizz
Protege loses and Vinny maintains his points lead on Protege, he's in. Yeah.
yeah, if Davis, Greenballs, Protege all lose,
But if Davis wins, Vinny's pretty much in, no matter what happens to him.
unless Protege lost and beat him on points, and well, Al Davis would have to have lost in that scenario because Swizz would have to beat him. Okay, yeah, this is I guess it's easier to go person by person and see all the scenarios, but people listen to this, it must be so confusing, I imagine. Because I do the math. When we talk, I'm always doing the math a little differently in our head, like the angles we get to figure out the scenarios. But there's
All
probably a
right, so
nice
that's
simple.
Vinny. Al Davis is pretty much in.
Yeah,
Protege, you win, you're in. If you lose, you are heavily rooting for Al Davis and Vinny Greenballs to win, so that you can keep your points lead on one of the House or Swizzles.
yeah, yeah.
Because if
Hmm.
Protege loses and Swizzle and House win, then he'd have to beat points on Vinny and Al Davis, and that maybe he can do Vinny. But so he's obviously he wants to win, but he has a couple, but he's rooting for Al Davis and Vinny to win as well.
Holy crap!
Swizzle is win. I need to win. Swizzle and House are both like they need to win. The scenarios for them not to lose and still make it is that Protege loses as well and they beat him on points. So Swizzle is behind by 50, is it 58 or 68 from Protege? So I mean that's a pretty big points gap to make up and still lose, but he's playing better opponents. So I mean, so Swizzle and House really need to win to be in the playoffs, to guarantee they're in the playoffs. Because they're just behind enough in points. So there is a clear top three in points, right? Protege, Vinny, and then Al Davis is even higher. But there is definitely a scenario where one or two of them don't make the playoffs, which is wild.
Yeah, it is. Again, 5, 10, and 4s going into last week is no matter what, someone's going home with 10 wins.
Could you
Someone's
imagine? Could
someone's
you
going home with
imagine
10 wins, no matter what. That is
if
terrible.
it was if it was even and they were all playing non-playoff teams, and we could have a 5-way tie at 11? That would have been great. Think about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, that's
But
incredible.
what a wild year.
Yeah, and let's do. I mean, instead of going matchups, I mean, what do we take these top 5 and just go do a quick power ranking?
Yeah.
Do pick quick power ranking. Let's go in order of points. See if Al Davis is going to be the one to like. If you just want one of these teams going into the playoffs, like which team would you want? You know?
Yeah. So I mean, everybody made moves, right? Are you pulling the teams up there? I'm gonna go
Yeah, I
to
got
your
Al.
team.
Can you see it on
Yeah, I'm
Google
looking
Meet?
at it. I'll get
Okay.
there. Yep. So we got Mahomes, number 3. He took a dump last week, right? He didn't do good. And he has a tough matchup. I mean, is that magic wearing off? They're
I'm
not
just
eliminated yet from the playoffs, right? He did 3 points last week. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm just trying. I want to look too, like just looking through the playoffs. Like we're not looking at matchups. That really does matter a ton. But just looking at general rosters, who's got the roster we'd want without looking at matchups? That'd be interesting to me.
We got
Who
Mahomes, Jameer Gibbs. He has Woody Marks in there, AJ Brown, Abuka, Tyler Warren, George Pickens, Puka. He's got Hampton on the bench, Gadsden, and
London
Drake
out?
London whenever he comes back. Maybe I mean that's huge. If he gets Drake London back for the playoffs, that
I,
could be big. But yeah,
I'm going straight up sticker shock, and I'm like, I'm Al Davis up in arms, but his first round keeper he was up in arms about. You take him out. I mean, I don't. George Pickens packing it. Pickens packing it in. Puka's there. I mean, Buka's been quiet. I mean, let's look at the other teams, but I'm right off the bat. I'm not like
He's got 5 players that are top 5.
I'm
Just look
just
at that.
saying.
Mahomes, Gibbs, Tyler Warren, George Pickens, Puka Nacua are all top 5.
I'm not being scientific. I'm looking at sticker value. Let's look at the next one. So we got Al Davis. Let's go to the next guy down. See I'm just going sticker shock here. Okay, here we got
Ooh.
Dak, Javante, Achan, Waddle, Najigba, Pitts, Janty, Barkley. He's got some man, oh man.
What is Devon's injury? Not his status, but what did he hurt? Do you know?
Achan?
Was it ribs?
Yeah, it's ribs. He didn't break it, I heard. He could be held out with ribs, but
So
not serious, but
not serious, except one hit it could put him down. But so that's a little scary. But Smith Najigba, Achan, Javante, I mean, he's heavily invested in the Dolphins and the Cowboys. Chanty Barkley,
Saquon coming back to life was huge. That made his team seem way better on sticker value here.
and he gets a nice matchup with Vegas. All right, we're not looking at matchups.
So Breck,
T Mac on the bench is probably going to go into his lineup. They had a bye, right? Or no? Did Carolina have a bye last week? Yeah, they had a bye last week. So T Mac goes into his lineup.
off of 2 targets, I don't know.
Oof. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's been
Oh,
solid though. He's wide receiver 7. For
over
God's
who?
sake.
Waddle?
Um,
I think he's
maybe.
set. This is the squad right here. This is the squad.
Ooh,
All right. What do you think between him and Al Davis if you're ranking them 1 and 2 right now?
I think they're pretty even.
Yeah. All
That's
right.
hard. That's hard to rank.
Let's see if anyone sticks out more. I'm going to
I'm gonna
pro.
go. I'm gonna go Al Davis. I'm gonna go Al Davis. No, I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna go Vinny Greenballs because I like Dak Prescott more than if Kansas City gets eliminated from the playoffs. All right, who's this now?
This is now protege.
Protege with Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, ETN.
Allen with another 45 last week. That's just
Three
ridiculous.
games over 40. CeeDee Lamb and Nico. Nico being how do you get Nico? How do you get Jefferson?
Yeah.
Jefferson, the scary person you can't take out of your lineup. You're welcome. DK and BTJ and Kelsey on the bench. He's got Trey McBride. So he's weak on running backs. Scroll down a little bit. Does he have any backup running backs? Oh, he's got Jacobs there. Keaton Mitchell, Emmanuel Wilson.
Jacobs, Henry, Etienne. I don't know. I still
I,
like it.
I I like this roster better than the other two.
I agree. I think they edge him out. He's got the Allen to McBride, the quarterback tight end battery. Henry, I still believe. Etienne's been good. Lamb's, has heated up. But he's got the concussion. That's a big one, right? He's got some good backups, but on pure sticker
Yeah.
value alone, I think he gets a little edge. That's pretty powerful on for the
I'm
sticker
wondering if
shock.
CD gets activated with a couple extra days. That'd be nice. Okay, then we go down to Swizzle, Lamar, CMC, James Cook, Jacoby Myers, Sutton.
Piecemealing this thing together with the Myers
Well,
Sutton.
Tyron McCaffrey, James Cook is just solid. Lamar's been rough, but he performed. What's he got on the bench? Jordan Mason, Pacheco. Can you scroll down a little bit, Louis? Ertz. Did you see that knee? Ooh.
I didn't see the injury. I saw it. He tore it.
You haven't seen it?
No, ugly one, huh?
They had a net. Well, he was like in air, and the guy came flying into his knee, and the knee bent backwards.
Ooh.
But they haven't said anything yet. But I mean, like it's one of those that looked ugly, and at the same time, I'm like, it totally could come out that it was just a hyperextension. But I mean, like he was crying on the sidelines. You know how much I love that.
Oh yeah, blue collar alpha like you. Just scoff.
Yeah, this is definitely not in the third tier with everybody else
See,
because of
I look at it and like it's still really good. I still put him in the he's where he needs to be, but you can see why he's a little lower in points. I mean, let's see if Danny's the same way.
Yeah, but look, McCaffrey, Cook, and Kyron. That's
Yeah,
why you're a playoff team.
yeah.
And then you have Lamar on that, who's been underachieving. And then this is Danny's.
This is Danny's.
Stafford, Bijan, Swift, Amon Ra, Devonta Adams, Kittle, Rico. See, I like this team better than Swizzles.
I think it's yeah. I'm playing this down the line. I think Protege's team I like better than his points would allow. Everyone else I'm kind of okay with where they are. I mean, Monroe's banged up. Dowdle's lost to the front seat, driver's seat. He's kind of splitting again. Pollard had a huge game, but gosh, that just screams of like. I mean, you got
But
to play him.
he's got a solid bench.
He's
You
got
know,
Hubbard and Dunze might be back. I mean, he's got that last couple spots. Dowdle over Hubbard. I mean, I don't envy Danny. He needs a Monroe to be healthy. I don't know that Swift versus Manon guys going. Are they both healthy?
mm-hmm.
There's landmines here. Landmines.
We're not looking at matchups. I mean, the fact of the matter, he's got 2 top 5 wide receivers, the number 2 quarterback, top 5 running back. Yeah, I like it better than Swizzle's team.
Well, they all seem to be there. Let's give Nate if Nate listens. I don't know if Nate's had a tough year. He's
Why
had
are we going to do this to him? Why?
well just to see because he's had some bad beats. He's feeling down on his luck this year, big time, and just want to look at his team to see how if things shook out.
He's got Devin Neal in his starting lineup.
He's got Jonathan Taylor cooled off, Jamar Chase cooled off. Higgins has been. I mean, you can make an argument he's in there, with Swizzle and I'd say Danny. But I think at the end of the day, it shook out a bit. I mean, he had some, like you say, he had some bad beats early and midway through the season, but it's a good team.
No, it's a good team.
I
Yeah,
it's a good team. He's definitely. I mean, if you're gonna tier it out, right? Like, there's the 5 playoff teams. He could mix it up with them, and then you got our 4 teams.
yeah.
You, me, goalie, slingbox that are just the absolute shits. I mean,
Can you go back to Nate's team real quick? Because you and I talked about this because of our scoring changes. Look at that. Jalen Hurts put up a -2 in our league. -2.4.
incredible,
That's just that's wild.
incredible.
Absolutely wild. So I just wanted to point that out. That's crazy.
Wow. Well, again, league, I was light on the pods this year. Apologies. Um, but it's been a great race. I mean, it would have been a good year to stay on top of it, but I just life got away from me this year. And I have been, I mean, I've been as into it as you could be in being out because I do care to not be 0-17. I mean, come on, 0-17.
Oh,
0-15.
Springbok. Come on.
Oh my gosh. It's easy math because I won the championship last year. So after that, I would just haven't won a game. I wonder, I would wonder if anyone listens to this. Of all the leagues that any of our guys have played in, have you ever seen an O for team in a playoff in a fantasy league? Is this not only new for us, but has anyone in our league in any league they've been in seen an O for season?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh, this would just be. I mean, I was high on my hog. I came off 4th title, most points. I mean, I've just been on fire, and like the gods just said, "Here you go."
Well, you gave up fast too. What was it? Week 4? When did you
I
make the trade?
I gave up fast, gave up early, and like butterfly effect means that maybe I would have won a game or two with the other team I had, but
Yes.
no regrets, of course. Because speaking of that, now that we're kind of recapping the year going into playoffs, it was a weird year. It's always a weird year for some reason. We had the 5, 10, and 4s, and then there were really like the keepers that were worth going for, Judkins and Scadaboo, unfortunately, and then you got your Travion and RJ Harvey, who Slingbox traded for. You traded for Bucky, which I guess because, but like, I mean, a few years back, I would make lists like 20 players long of like really good keepers. And it just
Yep.
felt small this year. There just wasn't any really obvious big list of keepers. So another way this year was different, as they just really seemed like that too. Um,
Yeah.
but
It's been an interesting year.
we all made our moves, like you said. All the top teams made their moves. House with me, Swizzle with. Did Swizzle not make a move?
Oh God, I don't remember.
Is he maybe the one that didn't make a move?
I'm looking at his draft right now.
Yeah, no, I think he's the one. So that's interesting to watch.
McCaffrey, Lamar, James Cook, DJ Moore, Isaiah Pacheco, Jacoby Myers, Jordan Mason, Cortland Sutton, Hawkinson, Christian Kirk, B Rob, Jaden Reed, Mark Andrews, Roshan, Kyron Williams. That's his draft.
So yeah, he went in organically, and then did Vinny ended up making a deal for Saquon with Slingbox, and then Davis did Al Davis end up making a deal? Al Davis didn't either, did he?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Gibbs,
so
Hampton, AJ Brown, Pickens, Abuka,
okay,
Montgomery,
okay, so
Calvin Ridley, Brandon
Swizzle
Allen,
and Al
Warren.
Davis were organic. Greenball's protege house made moves. Interesting to see how that play, how that ends up playing out too. But um, and as far as the points title, Vinny is, what do we say, 55, 87. So there is 3 weeks. So it's looking really good for Al Davis, but 3 weeks, I mean, what do you think? 87 points, 3 weeks. What kind of probability would you give that Vinny could catch Al Davis? Protege's 100 back. I mean, it would take a really freaky finish and a tremendous fall off for Al Davis to lose that points title, huh?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think Al Davis is in the driver's seat on that one. I want to go back real fast, Commish, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
We have 5 teams alive the for the playoffs.
yeah.
2 of them had first round keepers. We have 5 teams out of the playoffs. 4 of them had keepers in the first 3 rounds. And then there was 3 15-round keepers. 2 of them are on playoff contenders.
Well, since most of those kept early rounder, I guess you can't draw a straight line to it being better or worse again. I mean, never usually can't.
I don't know. Al Davis with Gibbs, take it to the house with Bijan, but Nate with Chase, me with Jefferson, Slingbox with Saquon, and then goalie with Neighbors in the first 3 rounds. I don't know.
Yeah.
Protege had Bucky Irving in the 14th. He's in the playoff. The only one Slingbox with Chase Brown, not in the playoffs, but Al Davis with Puka, Sweet Swizzle with Kyron. I don't know. Find it a little bit interesting because it was first round dominated. Neighbors in the third. There wasn't another keeper until the 6th round. So just kind of interesting.
Yeah. No tidbit is my season went bad in many, many, many directions. Starting with my keepers, keeping Amon-Ra as a late 2 would have been the right choice. So I don't know
Yeah.
how that would have shifted my whole entire season, but I would love to know in an alternate universe how that would have shifted my season. But um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, we have one more year of it. This I know. Next year's the
Mm-hmm.
last year, so I'm glad
Yeah.
Al Davis. I'm sure Al Davis is glad we did it this year because again, Gibbs has been arguably the best player in fantasy with a couple other guys, but definitely lately.
Well, it's kind of funny. Like, we don't want to rehash the draft, but I just found that interesting. No, it's wild to have 5 people at 10-4 after 14 weeks. Just crazy.
Definitely a first. Definitely a first. Again, to be double digit. I mean, I would have to look back. I mean, I wonder how many times a double digit wins hasn't gotten you in playoffs. That's out of control. 10-5 not in playoffs. I mean, we've said it before in our league, and all of us who play in other leagues, but with different setups. But making the playoffs with our league is, I know it's hard to like really keep that front of mind. Is like you got to look at who wins, of course, maybe points, but man, making the playoffs in our league is just like it's so nice. I mean, it's such an accomplishment. I mean, it's such an accomplishment.
Well, so 11 wins get you in,
Yep.
but there's going to be at least one person with 10 wins to get in.
Yep.
I'm wondering, is that the lowest first place score, winning percentage? Would
Oh
11 and
no,
4
no. I think there's been
first place?
a couple in there. 10 or like
Yeah.
9 or again, we've only had 17 games for a few years, but we've
Yeah,
had
I'm thinking.
first place is usually double digits. I don't know if we've ever had a 9-win team, but we
Oh,
might
that's
have.
right. Your wins and losses show the playoffs as well.
Yep.
So, yeah.
You could look at each year, but we don't have time to do that.
Yeah.
And on ESPN it'll show ESPN doesn't have the playoff wins in there, but and again, looking back, I'll look back after the season and do the math, but I've started the playoff probability again, and I'm guessing none of these 10-win teams started 0-2, which goes back to what I talk about every year, like starting fast, just purely statistical analysis, like purely just starting 2-0, no matter how good or bad your team is, like it's just that's where you want to be that early season. I mean, I'd be curious if any of these teams are 0-2. I really doubt it, um, but maybe we'll have to look back.
Well, I can tell you who the week 1 winners were.
Let's say if we look at
Fat and Overrated, Vinny Greenballs, Goalie, Sweet Swizzle, and the Protege. So Al Davis had a loss, and Take It to the House had a loss.
I'm looking at this. If you're looking at my screen, it's even easier to see.
Oh, you can look at that way?
If you look at the schedule, it just shows you all the matchups of the week. So shit, we had Nate lose the first, or Nate's out. So House and Davis, and then House
So Vinny
won,
Greenballs went
and
1
then
and
Davis
1.
won. So 1-1s. They
House
got
went 1 and 1.
yeah, 1-1s.
Well, let's go to week 3 then. Let's see if anybody had 2 losses. Went 1 and 2. House 1, Swizzle 1, Al Davis 1, Protege 1. Vinny Greenballs lost. So yeah, everybody was 2 and 1. At
Well,
least.
Greenballs then lost 2 in a row. So Greenballs started 1-2.
Oh, he did?
Yep. So Greenballs was the one who overcame the early season. But even 1-2, I think for me, it's in my head, it's 0-2. Like 0-2 is in my head is like we have our draft late in August. 3 weeks later, after 2 weeks, you just know if you got a shot. You got to have a win. You
Early
got to have a
mail in.
win. Have one win through 3 weeks. As Vinny just did. You could still do it. See if Vinny lost again. Maybe Vinny. No, then Vinny won.
Then he went on a run. Oh, he had that, young team. He had to figure out his lineups.
Yeah.
Remember, he had all rookies, and then he made a trade, and yeah, he made that early trade, right?
Who's that?
Wasn't Vinny one of the early trades?
No, he did a little later. I mean, compared to me and goalie, you did earlier than Vinny and Slingbox. Well, shit,
Yeah.
man. It's kind of hard to pack in a month and a half of pod material in 1 week, but we are in the last week. We just talked about all those teams in it. Anything I'm forgetting? Oh, we want to talk about playoff seeds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So looking at, I always chart this. I'll chart draft position, but I'm trying to think of where these 5 teams picked in the draft. That's always fun to look at.
I have it up.
Yeah,
What do you
like
want to know?
see where the top 5 picked because it is all over the place. I know, but people still like
Vinny
early
was
picks.
1.
Oh,
Swizzle was 2.
ooh,
Who's the Boss was 3.
yeah. Okay, there you go.
Al Davis was 4.
Oh,
Protege was 5.
whoa. So this is different. It's usually
Four of
not
the
that
top
down the
5.
line,
4 of the top 5 are in the playoff hunt.
and one of them's in last. So I balanced it though. I'm so bad that I balanced it. So we're still looking at not being too predictive. When you looking at if you're looking at like I'll chart it, but
Yeah, and then 6 was Slingbox, 7 was Goalie, 8 was House, 9 was Raider Nate, and I was 10.
but the interesting thing, Al Davis keeps a 1,
Yeah.
which you technically don't want because now his 2 was a later pick. So that should have been what he didn't want, right? Because he had the 4th pick, kept Gibbs. He would have technically wanted a 10th pick if you're keeping a 2 or a 1, I
Yeah.
mean, and want the 11th pick. So yeah, there's that too. So yeah, it's just still in our keeper league. I still think it doesn't matter where you pick from, but always interesting to look at.
Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of that, we gotta do seeds. Um, when should we do it? Should we do it ASAP? Get people looking at that's usually good, right? Get people looking at seeds and stuff.
Start looking at the matchups for the weekend.
Yeah, maybe we could get something together.
Yeah. We should do that earlier than later.
Okay. Well, I didn't think this through, but we need to get that going soon. Well, let's discuss and talk about it offline. Not, but we'll get a night, probably another night like we do the other stuff, and just hope most people can make it, and we'll be a
Put a
big
pin
deal.
on that. We'll circle back.
But didn't we also do it last year where we celebrated the champion? Or was that a couple years ago where we celebrated the champ? I remember like celebrating the champ on one of them.
I don't know.
Maybe it was a few years ago. But it would be,
possibly.
yeah, we should do it as soon as possible. It's always, if we can get a lot of people on, especially with the hunt, how it is. Um, shit, even if we could do it this week, huh? Get these guys that are all 10-4 on the Zoom.
Yeah.
Because next
One.
week we're coming up against holidays, right? So let's say Thursday. I think that's a night we usually try to do. I don't know if that's good for people or not, but let's the 11th or the 18th at like 9 p.m., right? Something like that is what we usually do.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we'll
I'm
send that
legit.
out. So, see if people can do a quick turnaround 11th. If not, we'll do the 18th the week after, and we'll do a Zoom or a Google Meet. If I do a Google Meet, of course, we have the hour cap, which is probably a good thing, right? A reason to get out of there, in and out.
I also, side note, this has to be the lowest high points pool amount in the HHL history.
Just not much being spent this year, huh?
Right now, it's $275.
What?
Well,
I think we're in the fours was the lowest somewhere, right?
really, you haven't given your annual 100. You still have $33 for goodness
Oh,
sakes.
I'm setting all kinds of records this year. Look
Like,
at me.
nope. I'm at $51. Nobody else is even close to 50 spent.
Wow, we
It's
bunch
been
of
an
fucking
interesting year. So there
cheapskates.
haven't been crazy bids, like nothing.
It's deflationary pressure with the real world inflation has deflated the. I should
Here's
say,
the trends. Goalie has spent $7. Slingbox 12. Fat and overrated 51. You've spent 67. Raider Nate 26. Take it to the house 22. Swizzle 18. Protege 11. Vinny Greenball's 38. Al Davis 23. Frugal year.
by far, dude, by far. If you get the almanac up, I think we're in the high fours is our lowest. It's been trending down a little bit,
Yeah.
but
I think that's, we're getting better on drafting, and then getting better on valuations.
maybe. But also, where was the big ones? Like no one.
That goes to the better at drafting, right?
Yeah, I guess, but it seems like the biggest ones end up usually being what, like a handcuff running back, right? Or like a freaky receiver, you know.
Yeah. But
But
I
nope.
mean,
Who? Let's look backwards. Who has been a Puka Kyron type? That's always our kind of, they were so big in the recent years. Like, who was like the big waiver wire guy that actually has like been that guy? Was there any waiver studs this year?
it would have been Connor's injury, right? And then Trey Benson gets hurt real fast, but
Yeah.
then everybody remember, like, is it going to be Michael Carter? Is it going to be was it who? It was weird.
At any position, has there been a waiver hero though? There's always waiver heroes, right? Is there even any waiver heroes?
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
All right, so looking at Johnny's team, those are all dudes that got drafted. Looking at Protege's team, dudes that got drafted. We don't need to look at the losing teams. We're talking about the teams that take it to the house.
You
Dowdle, okay, Dowdle. Dowdle would have been the guy. That's the waiver darling, right? Dowdle.
Yeah, I guess so.
Dowdle has been the waiver
You
darling.
spent. I'm looking at spend. You spent $19 on Herbert and $11 on Fannin, and no, sorry, $13 on Kyle Pitts. So those were a couple big bids. I'm
So
just looking
Dowdle,
to
it's
see.
Dowdle. I mean, Dowdle is cooled off the last couple weeks, but I mean, 30-point weeks. He's been playable. Yeah, so Dowdle's been that hero. He's been
Yeah,
the hero. But again,
and
he
that was
wasn't big money.
even then that was just a couple weeks. Like,
He gave you a handful of really good weeks. I mean, I
yeah,
just brought up, I mean, 7, 8 good weeks, I think. Looking at Vinny's team, no real waiver heroes there. And then Swizzle has been
a
playing
lot of
some.
zeros and
Myers
dollars.
might end up, if Swizzle makes a run, Myers might end up being the waiver darling because he's heated up the last 4 weeks. And if he does something in playoffs, Jacoby Myers could be the real waiver hero. Hmm.
It's wild. Yeah, it just hasn't been a hot pickup.
Well, it was Dowdle. I mean, nothing like but there's been a couple decent ones, but it's
But
the proofs in
but
the pudding.
how much was spent on Dowdle?
Not a lot. $6. I don't know.
You went 13 on Luther Burden. I'm just looking at the highest
I think if you
claim.
maybe if you click on him, it might say what he got picked up for.
It does. It does. It should. I thought it shows a transaction, right? Man, just small pickups.
Take it to the house, added Dowdle for $0.
Really.
Yep. Woo.
I spent 12 on Taysom Hill. I was acting like the actual New Orleans Saints.
All right, buddy. Well, shit. We'll get the playoff season going. Congratulations on the guys who are in it.
$9 on Vidal.
Me and Fat are ready to talk consistently. We kept our eyes on the league. We were definitely not checked out. I just couldn't get pods together. It's been a absolutely I mean, in every way, this year has been a crazy year for me. Obviously, and fantasy is no exception. I mean, I haven't spent $100. If you can set your clock, like I might week at the last week spend it just to spend it. Like I'm just gonna donate it to Al Davis just to get things right to set my life back on track here. But no, wow. Um, shit. How long have we been on? I don't got the timer going. I can't see the timer.
Maybe 45 minutes.
All right.
Maybe 40 to 45 minutes.
All right. Well, yeah, we want to keep it brisk. Hope people can listen before playoffs, even though we just talked in circles around all the. We didn't concisely lay out the paths to playoffs, but it's enough to at least recognize our heroes here. Any overtime items or
No, I mean
or
it's
football items?
just a wild, just an awesome week for everybody. I feel bad for Nate. I'll put that out there. Um, but to have a 5-way tie on the last week of the season is awesome.
Yeah, we always say it. It's cliche, but it definitely matters due to the various ways we're set up in our league. Which is you got half the league on the edge of their seat this week.
Yeah,
How many leagues that we all play in where half the league is like on the edge of their seat? That's really good. I mean, yeah, you could say like some of the teams that have 6, 17 playoffs, like whatever, but man, that's really good. So,
that's
hmm.
awesome. So, well,
All right.
let's get the set up the playoff, whatever the pooling or whatever, so we can figure out the who's got what ranking, and then we'll just sit back as two losers and watch the top half of the league battle it out, and just keep praying for Slingbox to wax your ass, so I can get my name off the record books.
I mean, it's nice to be involved. If I was 1 or 2 wins, I wouldn't be as. I mean, I'm into it here. So, who do you have any rooting interest in these top fives?
No,
You want to get personal?
personal, no. Love it. I love everybody in the league. Love everybody in the league. You know what? Let's get. I'm rooting for Vinny Greenballs because I think I had him as one of the worst teams after the draft.
Classic, classic. I think if I'm going to put an order,
Ooh, do you have those available?
what's that?
The draft analysis.
Oh no, those were a mess. I didn't hammer those home. My bad. But if I'm going to rooting interest, classic. I go for the guys who threaten my throne. Al Davis, do not want Al Davis in the winner's circle. Gotta keep him out. So
Yeah,
he's. I mean, he stakes his claim back to GOAT if he wins his title. If he goes super champ this year, points in head to head, he's back in it. I mean, he's maybe. I mean, we could talk about he might even be the GOAT again. Um, Vinny's won a couple. Protege hasn't won one. I'm kind of rooting for Protege. I want Protege.
no,
Swizzle's been on a cold streak. So Protege, Swizzle, and Danny, I'm sorry. Love you too, like I love everybody in the league. But Danny's always in it. Danny's fucking always in the mix. So he doesn't have these own 14 seasons. We need Protege, Swizzle, then Green Balls, Davis, and House. They could mix it up. But Protege.
yeah. someone to win a championship before me. Yeah, let's go Protege. Fantastic.
Ah,
So great.
yeah.
Protege's been in the championship game twice already. So
Woo!
that would put him 3 times, which is yeah, more than Danny. Danny's been in a championship game twice. Swizzle's been 3 times. So and Vinny Greenballs has been 3 times. So yeah, Protege. Voted for Protege.
Well, well, well. Well,
But
if we get on the ball, planning around it's tough, but if I can get you on a whim against after this week, if big if, not promising, of course, um, then we can look at matchups, and then it'd be fun to dig into actual playoff matchups. But for this week, it's just about getting in. We didn't dig into matchups, but it's gonna be a fun week.
I'm changing. I'm rooting for Swizzle or House because they're both negative in the franchise revenue. The funniest one of all time is Vinny Greenballs being the lowest winning percentage and being $1,000 in the in the black.
He has been the true boomer bust player.
Yep.
There's
So
a
I'm
lot of us
rooting
are in
for
the
the negative.
middle. What's that?
Protege's negative $59. You can go out and yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
well,
rooting for you anymore. It's time to feel a sting.
all right. I'm trying to think of anything else that would be anything else random. I can think of anything. First thing off the top of my head is that Al Davis and Protege weren't implicated in the Cleveland Guardians betting ring. That's about all I can think of off the top of my head. Uh, yep. I do
Yeah.
look for a day. Yeah, yeah. There may be a day where one of these, either Kalshi or Polymarket, there might be a day when you might be able to upload your fantasy leagues and bet on your own fantasy league. So let's look forward to that day. Maybe then we'll have some gambling in our.
My neighbor's in a league where they do that. They
Oh,
don't use
that's
Cal.
right. Yeah, you told me about that before. I forgot about that. It sounds fun. I mean, you could do a lot of side bets if you wanted to. Me and Mike Soldani in the old days did a $20 side bet on a random matchup, things like that. But um,
Yeah.
shit. All right. Well, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to all.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to the HHL.
We'll try to jump in here, and if not, we'll do our playoff seeding.
All right.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later.
See ya.
See ya.